Did that, and it didn't last very long. I mean, people were writing and calling and screaming and protesting, and they reversed it. I would think somebody would have realized to go in there and start taking people's disability away from. Where are they going to go? He doesn't care. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and if you really think about it, look at the money that you'd be spending to have to retest all these people every 6 months. That's a lot of money you're paying the officials or the doctors or whatever to do all these tests and stuff. So I don't know how you're going to be. That's going to be paying off, or it seems like it's going to be just as expensive, if not more.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's just some of the weird things that's going on. Is it a distraction? I don't know what I tell you what, I never thought the day would come when I see the crap that's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. This is one time, I don't care if you're independent, a Republican, or a Democrat. You have morals, supposedly, that you grew up with. What is right and what is wrong. And we should work together, not do what this crap that they're doing right now. It is silly. Either you go ahead and you follow through and remove the person, or you work out the problem. Okay, it's simple as that. It's ridiculous how that's the Congress. Then you get into the Senate, and if you want to talk about the senators, whatever. If you're a Republican, I would be ashamed. Oh, wait a minute. I am a Republican. I would be ashamed of myself, okay, if I was a senator and I didn't ask questions. Hey, the guy is a Republican, so we're going to stand, by him, regardless what he did wrong or did not do wrong. They need to actually have a trial and bring out the real facts, as much facts as possible, to make sure that, if we don't do this, the next president comes along is going to get away with more, what. And then the next one after that will get more. But pretty soon we won't even have a president. We'll have a king or we'll have a dictator. Think about that, people. We need to think about this. Lady in Bosch, whatever, it likes drinking everything in red. She dresses in red. And she thinks by being in red and her skin is even red colored because all the red foods and drinks she drinks, that'll help her in the afterlife. Okay. Well, what can I say?
That sounds like some kind of mental condition. Actually, didn't I can't think of the names, the Bosches or whatever they were back a few hundred years ago, the lady would bathe in her servant's blood and stuff. Yeah, that's some kind of mental condition. I don't know if that's a healthy thing to do, have everything red. I don't know how that's going to help you in the afterlife, but some of these conditions make you think some bizarre things.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a condition or if it's people's beliefs or if they have a mental issue that's going on. But anyway, right. James, what's going on a little bit about UFOs?
Well, there has been some stuff come in about reports with some UFOs lately. I've got one here. Let's see. Let me access it up here real quick. Oh, yes, here it is. Actually, this came in from a friend of mine. I got the video with it, but of course I can't show that. But it was a long-distance sighting, pulled off of Highway 87 on Old Brush Highway, and I pulled to the back and be out of the way in case someone came through. Let me skip to the good part. At the one point, I see a red ship appear out of nowhere and go flying across the sky north to southwest for about 3 to 4 seconds. And this thing moved a great distance before it disappeared. I grabbed my phone and started snapping pictures and recording, focusing on this big ship that came down from the north and hovered for at least 10 minutes while I was there. And then driving north, I lost sight of it as I went north on 87 before the mountain. While I was focusing on this, another ship appeared out of nowhere and shot straight up into the mothership and disappeared. Now I've got the video with it. It's very compelling, but that was one report that just came in within the last couple of days.
Interesting.
And that is an interesting one. I got another one here somewhere. Okay, yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, this other one, again, there's pictures and video, but I can't show it. But 2 men recorded a gigantic UFO floating over Lake Erie in Ohio. And these 2 guys, they were, just out there, I think they was getting ready to go ice fishing, but as they were there, and boy, it's a very good picture of it. I mean, it kind of looks like that one UFO that they show back in the early 70s from the submarine that hovers over the water. It looks a lot like that, but it's gigantic. I mean, it is a gigantic UFO, and it's over the surface of the Lake Erie. And that was another one that came up. Let's see, I got another one here too. Oh, yeah, Las Vegas. Man, Las Vegas is that area has been getting all kinds of sightings recently. I mean, I've got 3 or 4 just within the last couple of days that come in over Las Vegas, and of course there's videos with them, but they look like orbs. One of them look like a cigar-shaped. I don't know what's going on in that area out there in the Vegas area, but there's definitely something going on because there's a lot of sightings popping up recently out of there. Let's see what else I got popped up. Okay, Oklahoma. Another one. Elusive red lights pop in the sky in the sky over Oklahoma within the last week also. See, here's another one. Okay, here's one on a cryptid. This came in. You want to hear one on a cryptid?
Oh, okay. Why not?
Yeah, why not? It just came in. It's kind of spooky a little bit. Okay, yeah, this just came in recently, too. Okay, the couple was driving, and this is in Wisconsin. He soon noticed a tall, dark winged entity, which he referred to as a gargoyle, near the Root River overpass. Now, he described the being as being 6-foot humanoid with bat-like wings extending from its back. It was very dark in color, and when his headlights hit the beam, the wings unfurled, and it quickly ascended into the air. The body was thin and the head somewhat small in comparison. There was distinct eye shine with a reddish tint. Now, the one guy believes that this being was eating roadkill. Also, the guy was very insistent that a vehicle far ahead of him hit the brakes about the same time he observed the creature. Now, he believes that there is a possibility that another similar winged entity may have been present further down the road. So that was a very compelling cryptid report that came in just recently also.
It's been a lot of reports on cryptids lately, more than normal. It's funny. You know what? I find a cycle is going on here, but it's all kind of like 3 of them or 4 of them kind of merging together. For a while, ghost hunting kind of dropped off. But in the last 6 months, 8 months, you go to the Travel Channel, you go to, some of these other channels, and you find a whole bunch of new ghost hunting shows. It's like, wow. And then, the UFO thing, I got a funny feeling a lot of the talk shows are not talking much about UFOs right now. Have you noticed that? It's been a drop on a lot of talk shows. And maybe that's why a lot of people are listening to us, because we cover about UFOs more than they do. That's their problem. And then you have cryptids. All of a sudden, people are talking about it more than normal. Thunderbird. All kinds of weird creatures, and it seems to be really popular. So I mean, you got all this stuff going on right now. It's like, wow, all at once.
I'm telling you, and the reports on the UFOs, they just from my point of view of what I'm getting has really been on the rise. I mean, not just isolated in one area of the United States, but all over. Now, I would say the one area that's kind of more than recently is the Nevada, Las Vegas area. Seems to be a lot of reports out through there. And I don't know, some of them are the same just from different people, but there's just a lot popping up.
Well, you know what? Normally, the worst state for reporting UFOs is actually Nevada. But they've been having a lot, especially around Las Vegas, for example. A lot of sightings of strangeness.
Yeah, you're right. And usually that state is lower. But, again, like you say, it comes in cycles. And I tell you, this one's just been really heating up there. And I don't know. I often think some of the are misconstrued. When people see UFOs, they automatically think, oh, it's alien ships or something. But you know what? It could be all kind of things. It could be our drones, secret drones, experimental craft that we're experimenting with, especially out in the deserts where there's less people. And, of course, some people's going to see it. It's just, we're in the age of technology. But I think sometimes it's just our stuff.
Yeah, I think a great percentage of it is, but there's a percentage it isn't. And that is the part, that is concerning. As of yesterday, the Space Force is actually up and running.
Oh, really? You know what? I did hear something about that, but I thought, well, what's that mean? Are they like chasing off some of these intruders, or
no?
Or
the Space Force is here to protect us against anything in space. Be it another country or whatever. That's what they were created for, to protect us. And don't forget, about a year ago, the Secretary of the Air Force said the next war will not be a ground war. We're talking a major war. Will be out in outer space. And he was saying that to the graduating cadets. You figure out what it is. I don't know. Maybe that's a good place to have a war with another country. Go out in outer space and have at it. Or the aliens are coming down here to abduct us for dinner. Hey, maybe the Space Force is here to protect us.
Well, I can remember what Ronnie said back in the 80s about that. He says, maybe I forget exactly how it went, but it's something along the lines of maybe we'd all come together if we had an encounter with something from up there, or however he said it. But
I know what he told me.
Anyway,
I know what he told me, but I can tell you this: well, it's not Bonzo. But anyway, you know what? It's like 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Hopefully, you got some good UFO news and all that stuff, for the top of the hour. But again, people, Christmas time. Think about your family. Don't go out and do too much drinking. If you're out there drinking, find somebody to drive you home that hasn't been drinking or smoking. And, think about your loved ones. That's very important. You be around as long as possible. And don't forget to buy your wife something that she really wants for Christmas. If you don't, you'll know about it the whole year long. You know that. Women hold grudges like you wouldn't believe.
No, that's not true. Is it?
I don't know. I got my wife a DVD player, a nice one. And then I got her a nice little TV. So we're going to put our rec room back in its shape here this weekend. And then, next to the fireplace, and she can go in there in her own, instead of the front room, and get away from the dogs and me and go in there and watch her movies.
Get a peace of mind away from you mean?
Yeah, that too. And if you're listening, Linda, I was joking. I didn't get you a DVD player. I got you a... Never mind. I'll be honest with you. I got you a VHS player. I found one on eBay, brand new.
Bro, you didn't get a used one?
No, I got her the most up-to-date 1999 VHS player you could find. Brand new.
I would hope.
And if you believe that, I will sell you the Dodgers, too. Why not it? We'll be back in 3 minutes, and then we'll have, the news with James Kirschbaum. And after that, we're going to have our guests on talking about their book, The Kings Are Coming, on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark.
In life's journey, some ask themselves why the big time is passing by. They want it all and they want it now. No need to